Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Picks on Net NHL Picks and Predictions. I'm your host, Terry Edelman at T Picks over on X, ready to break down the Tuesday slate. 10 games to go over today. I'm breaking down all 10 of them. That being said, not a whole lot of plays for me on the slate, but there's definitely some leans, and of course, I've got all my stats that I normally have for you guys. But first, we will start the show as we normally do, taking a look back at yesterday. And yesterday is going to be a very fun day to look back on, even though it was a short one, but that's okay. We'll start with the loser of the day. Brandon Hagel over 3.5 shots on goal, plus 125. Unfortunately, this did not cash. He's been on a shot streak, and I did notice, but I kind of ignored it, that he has struggled against the Leafs for some reason. Despite the Leafs allowing the second most shots on goal this year, Brandon Hagel, I believe he only had one shot on goal. So, fortunately, a loser here in this one. This game, we talked about Josh Norris and Jason Zucker on the power play. I'm hoping some of you bet it. Of course, the Flames have a really great penalty kill, but wasn't enough to stop Norris and Jason Zucker, both on incredibly hot streaks right now. In this game, and Zucker and Norris are exact reasons why, even on slates when I don't have a lot of plays, still giving us some good betting information. I stayed off because of the power play, but as we saw, the penalty kill for the Flames, but as we saw, it didn't matter for Norris and Zucker. This game, James Van Riemsdyk. Good morning to James Van Riemsdyk. Plus 500 anytime goal. Exactly what I wanted was to cash this play. And I even posted about it on Twitter, on X in the morning, saying today would be a great day to cash a plus 500 goal scorer. Maybe I knew in the morning, but I really love this play. The fact that he had scored in 5 of 6 games and was plus 500 against the team that has given up the most goals against this year, this just made no sense to me why this was at plus 500. Yes, JVR on the fourth line and I believe on the second power play, but he actually might not even be on the second power play, but it didn't matter. Scored the first goal of the game for the Red Wings. My best bet on picksandparlays.net yesterday was Detroit team total over 3.5. Of course, I wanted to take the over in this game, but I did not trust the Canucks offense. So I went with Detroit team total over 3.5. Detroit wins 4-0. I was right not to trust the Canucks offense there. And then this game, I didn't have any plays for this game, but of course I did want to mention it. Good job to the Wild beating the Kraken, who knocked out Matt Zuccarello due to injury. And then basically everybody else in the Wild team ended up going to the locker room at some point. So the Wild continue their domination over the Kraken, even though they're extremely shorthanded, and I don't know who's healthy and who's not at this point for the Wild. They are going to get destroyed by Dallas Thursday, I believe it is. Thursday. Dallas is going to destroy us. It's not going to be a fun game. But there we go. We'll go into the chat and see what people think. I did see Golfing Stars fans comment about Beckett Seneca, but because he posted the comment earlier, I'm not able to bring it up. But yeah, we'll talk about it. Hey, Terry, I'm going Oilers and Bouchard point, same game parlay minus 106. Thoughts, please. The Oilers definitely should win. And Bouchard, I believe, has been on a point streak. So I don't hate it. We'll talk about it when we get to that game. We'll look over it more. Terry, I smashed the like. Thank you, Richie. I appreciate that. Let's cash. Yes, let's cash. Addison saying hi. Hi, Addison. Hope all is well. It's going to be rough Thursday, Terry. I know. That's why I said right off the bat, it's not going to be a fun game. And I really hope they don't put Volstead in, but it is his turn. I remember another time Volstead started against the Stars, and it did not go well. I think that was his first ever start, but destroy. Most likely, yes. Most likely, yes. But just one loss. The Wild can move on after that. Hey, Terry. Hey, Sweet Pickles. How's it going? But we're going to jump into today's slate, and we'll start with the first game here, which is the Anaheim Ducks and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Ducks, plus 100 road dogs. The Penguins, minus 120 home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in our first game. We will start with goaltenders. Let me refresh and see if we have any goalies here. Archer, Silvos, Shivos. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong again. Rich told me how to pronounce it, but 4-4-4 with a 3 goals against average and an .898 save percentage. Hasn't really been the best for him. Tristan Jarry has been the better goaltender this year. Ville Husso unconfirmed, but I don't know who else it would be. Their 4th-string goaltender if it's not Husso. Husso 4-2, 2.82 goals against average, .875 save percentage. So not awful numbers. Anaheim 3-1-1 in the last 5 games between these two teams. 4 overs, 2 unders, and so 4 overs and 3 unders, with a total of 6.5. And I lean with the Ducks here. I lean with the Ducks in this one. They won the first meeting between these teams 4-3 earlier this season. The Ducks have won 3 of their last 4 games. 4-1 against St. Louis. 7-0 loss to Utah. Unfortunately, I was on Anaheim in that game. 4-3 shootout win against Washington, and then a 7-1 beatdown over the Hawks. Pittsburgh on the other side had won back-to-back games against Philly, Tampa Bay. 3-2 shootout loss against Dallas. Their last home game, a 7-2 loss to Toronto. The Penguins have played much better on the road than at home this year. When I look at this game here from a side perspective, it would be Anaheim or pass. But you guys know what we're doing. Well, you may not know exactly what we're doing, but going with the point prop. Now, I really considered back and forth. Am I going with the assist prop or am I going with the point prop? Because the point prop is at minus 110, I decided to go with the point prop. If you guys want to take Beckett Seneca for an assist, you could do that as well. Seneca has started to score, though, recently. Back-to-back games, he scored a goal in. And ultimately, when I look at it, I decided to go with the point prop here. Play it a little safe, I guess you could say. But Beckett Seneca has a point. Bear with me for a second as I get up here. 10 of his last 11 games. He's just been incredibly consistent. And scoring goals, getting assists, back-to-back multi-point games for him. And for some reason, he has the most value when it comes to point props. His point prop has value despite being the hottest player on either side by far over the last 12 games. We will look at other players here, and then I'll mention exactly about Seneca's assists, exactly how many assists he has recently. Shots on goal props, not a whole lot of value there. Point props, other than Beckett Seneca, Chris Letang has a point in 3 games in a row, 4 of his last 5. He's plus 159 for a point. Here, goal streaks, Crosby scored in 3 of 5, but plus 150 there. Beckett Seneca, as I said, has scored in back-to-back games. He's plus 340 to score a goal here. So definitely a lot of value with him there. Assists, Beckett Seneca, 8 of his last 10, 4 of his last 5, plus 160. So I'm on the point prop at minus 110. The assist prop at plus 160. You could definitely go that way as well. Chris Letang, an assist in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 208. Ton of value with Chris Letang, but Beckett Seneca, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what we're doing here. Today is Kyle Connor's birthday. 1 goal for 300. Yeah. Oh, yes. It's his day today. Okay, 1 goal for 300 and his birthday. All right, he's gonna have a tough test against Dallas, but hey, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the day. Subscribe yesterday and like today. Great show. Glad to find it. Thanks, Terry. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And yeah, there's a ton of new viewers watching recently. So I really love to see it. Geek Freak and Kyle, anytime goal parlay. Interesting. We'll talk about Geeky a little bit later. Both of those guys actually a little later. That's a smash spot for Connor anytime goal. Thanks for the heads up, Steven Montez. There we go. Seneca assists plus 172 on FanDuel. Wow. Yeah, like I said, you can go with the assist at the big plus money. My other 3 plays today are all plus money, so I was fine with going with the point here, minus 110. But the assists, great value with the assists, plus 172. Seneca McTavish point parlay plus 320. McTavish has 8 points in 7 games versus Pittsburgh. Love it. Ducks top line point parlay plus 492. Terry Kreider and Uncle Leo. What I don't like about the Ducks is that they've kind of been, their top 6 has been kind of moving all over the place. We haven't really seen a lot of consistency. So the only thing I would be worried about this is if they move guys around, which they've tended to do quite often. So hopefully they don't for your case. But if the Ducks play like they did in their last game, it won't matter if guys are in different lines the way they were scoring at will in their last game. Tommy Novak still in the top line, plus 340 anytime goal. Not as good as plus 525 on Sunday. Yeah, books will start catching on. Great value there. Great value with Novak. Anybody playing with Sidney Crosby is going to have some value for sure. But second game is the New Jersey Devils and the Ottawa Senators. The Devils plus 120 road dogs. The Senators minus 140 home favorites. Total of 5.5 here in this one. Jacob Markstrom likely for New Jersey. 7-6-1. 3.51 goals against average, 876 save percentage. Linus Ullmark confirmed, 10-7-4. 3 goals against average, 877 save percentage. And an interesting stat here, thanks to Daily Faceoff for this, but Senators, since Brady Tkachuk has come back, they've gone 1-4. So they've lost 4 or 5 games since getting their captain back. Hopefully they're not taking their foots off the gas, knowing that he's back, because things have not obviously gone well in recent games. Looking at previous games between these two teams, the road team has won 6 games in a row between these two teams. So home ice advantage doesn't really apply here between these teams. 3 games in a row going under 5.5. The issue, though, is if you did want to take the road team, looking at this one, the Devils 16-12-1 in the season, 7-8 on the road. They've lost 5 games in a row, and all by multiple goals. 5-3 to Philly, 5-3 to Columbus, 3-0 to Dallas, 3-0 to Vegas, 4-1 to Boston. So the Devils in their last 3 games have scored 1 goal. Now, Dallas, Vegas, Boston, strong opponents. Boston definitely has played a lot better than expected this year. Dallas would be the best team in the league by far if Colorado didn't exist. And then Vegas is Vegas. Ottawa on the other side, 13-11-4, 6-5-2 at home. They've lost 4 of their last 5. As I said, since Tkachuk has come back. 5-2 win against Montreal, but they've lost every other game. 4-3 to St. Louis, 6-1 to Dallas, 4-2 to the Rangers, and 2-1 to the St. Louis Blues. So when I look at this game, I lean with the Devils at plus 120. I do think they end their losing streak here in this game. The road team has had a lot of success between these two teams, fading Ottawa's done well for me lately. But this New Jersey Devils team, I can't put my money on them right now with how they're playing. So ultimately a pass here in this game. But looking at player props here, Jake Sander, minus 150 for points. No, I'll go to shots and goal first. Drake Batherson, over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 114. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 games. Dougie Hamilton, over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 100. He's done that in 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10. So Dougie Hamilton, shots on goal. Could be a good look here. Point props with value, none. Nobody's on any kind of streak with any value. The best would be Jake Sanderson, a 0.4 or 5. He's minus 150 for a point. So no value there. Goal streaks, Fabian Zetterlund for Ottawa, 3 of his last 5, plus 360. Timo Meier, 3 of his last 5, plus 180. Was considering Timo Meier, but doesn't have the best numbers against Ottawa. 8 games in a row, he has not scored against the Ottawa Senators. The game before that, he scored 1 goal. So does not have the best numbers against Ottawa. Power play points, no streaks there. Assists, Brady Tkachuk, 3 of 5. Nico Hischier, 3 of 5. Tkachuk, plus 159. Hischier, plus 130. So ultimately, this game is a pass. Lean with the Devils, but I can't put my money on them the way they're playing at the moment. Last time Kyle Connor played Dallas, he had a Hattie. There you go. Yeah, the first game of the year. I believe it was a 5-4 win for the Stars in that game. So that was a high scoring. And I was on Dallas in that game. So I remember that quite well. But we'll continue on along with our next game, the San Jose Sharks and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Sharks plus 140, road dogs. The Flyers minus 165, home favorites. Total of 6 here in this one. Looking at goalies here. Alex Nedeljkovic confirmed for San Jose. 4-5-2, 3.01 goals against average, 8.99 save percentage. Dan Vladar, 10-5-1, 2.59 goals against average, 906 save percentage. Vladar has not played for a while now, over a week since he last played. Gave up 5 goals to the Pittsburgh Penguins in a loss. Now getting the start here against the Sharks. How have these teams done against each other in the past? The Philadelphia 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. 6 of the last 8 have gone under 5.5. So usually low scoring games between these teams. And 4 of the last 8 have gone to overtime. So we've seen a lot of draws between these two teams. And when I look at this one, if you think I'm taking the Flyers at minus 165, well, you haven't watched the show very long because, and I should actually clarify to new viewers, I don't go past minus 135. And even for me to take a minus 135, I have to have a really good reason. Minus 120 to plus money is how I like to go. So if I was going to back the Flyers here, it would have to be in regulation. But definitely not doing that with the overtime history. Both of these teams haven't necessarily gone to overtime recently. The Sharks have been involved in their last 4 games have been 3 goals either way. So a 6-3 win against Utah, 7-1 loss to Washington, 4-1 loss to Dallas, and then a 4-1 win against Carolina. So no overtime for San Jose recently. 4 games in a row for the Flyers. No overtime. They did go 4-3 shootout against the Islanders. I was on the draw in that game. But so ultimately in this game, lean with the Sharks a little bit, but definitely not enough to get to it here. Did have a big win against Carolina, but back-to-back big losses. So it's tough to tell exactly how the Sharks team is going to come out here in this game. Shots and goal streaks, there are none. Point streaks, if I was going to be getting to something here, it would be William Eklund. Over half a point. He has a point in 5 of his last 8 games, and in 2 of 3 against the Flyers, including 2 points in his last game in Philadelphia. So Eklund has had some success against the Flyers. Let's see here. Colin Graff has scored in back-to-back games for San Jose, plus 475. And Travis Konechny has scored in back-to-back games, plus 182. Assist streaks, not a whole lot. Konechny, Travis Konechny, Macklin Celebrini, and Dmitry Orlov all have an assist in 3 of their last 5. Konechny, plus 105. Celebrini, plus 105. Dmitry Orlov, plus 215. And Dmitry Orlov actually has an assist in 5 of 6 against Philadelphia. So Orlov has had a lot of success assisting against the Flyers, plus 215 for him to get an assist. So definitely value with Dmitry Orlov here. His point prop is plus 178. So great value with him here in this game. Good morning, Terry. Hey, Rich, how's it going? Hope all is well. I think this is my first goal and first time play on the picks on net. San Jose, Philly, minus 145. I think it is. I think it's the first time this year, Addison. Wow. There we go. Goal in first 10 is one of Addison's favorite plays, types of plays. So I like it. Graff, anytime goal. He's been hot, Richie. He's been hot. And definitely great value if you think he can go to 3 games in a row. Mishkov, Celebrini, Will Smith goal props. Not a ton of consistency, so not for me, but Devils 1 goal the last 3 games. Exactly. I can't put my money on a team that scored 1 goal in the last 3 games, so definitely passing. Noah Cates, 3 goals in 3 games versus Nedeljkovic. Okay, I like that, plus 290. Konechny, Zegras, point parlay, top line, top power play, plus 148. I love it. I love it. I would bet Sharks plus 140. No way I would bet the Flyers. Yeah, I agree. Eklund plus 105 for a point. Sign me up. Second line, top power play. Yeah, and has had a lot of success. Well, he's played 3 games and he has points in 2 of 3. So I guess that's not a lot of success, but it's not like he's played the Flyers a whole bunch. So I like it. That's if I was getting to something, it would be Eklund point here in this one. On to our next game, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens. Tampa Bay minus 105 road dogs. The Canadiens minus 115 home favorites. A total 6.5 here in this game. I did a video on Picks and Parlays YouTube channel yesterday, previewing today's slate, and did give out the over here in this one. Not making one of my premium plays and is a small sprinkle for me, so not a full unit play as normal. But I do think we get goals here. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these teams have gone over 6.5. Tampa's 5-2 in the last 7, but I think Montreal could. I think Montreal wins this game. So I lean with Montreal. Team total over, which I think could be maybe the better way to go than taking the full game over. Montreal has been involved in a lot of high-scoring games. It looks like Brandon Halverson will be making his NHL debut or season debut in this one. Obviously, Johansson started yesterday, so Halverson could be making his debut. What are we going to see from him? I really have no idea. So Jakub Dobiš confirmed for Montreal. He was absolutely incredible in October. In November, not so much. And now December, he's been great in the first 2 games. 1.5 goals against average, 940 save percentage in 2 games. So is he going to be great for 1 month, not great for the next month, and then great for is how he's going to do it every other month? That's how it seemed to be. Ultimately, I am going to sprinkle on the over because I did give it out as a play, and I'm not one of those people that gives out plays and doesn't actually bet it. So I am going to be betting the over because I did give it out on the Picks and Parlays YouTube channel, but not a full unit play for me, as I said. I think Montreal wins this game. I think there's value with the Habs here, especially if Jakub Dobeš continues his play. It's just Tampa has had the Habs number recently. Now, one of the reasons why I'm a little bit nervous about the over as well, looking at what Tampa Bay has done, 2-1 loss to the Islanders, a 4-3 loss to Pittsburgh, and now back-to-back 2-0 losses. 2-0 to the Islanders, 2-0 to Toronto. It's always scary to bet an over when the team that when one of the teams has scored 1 or fewer in 3 of 4 and is allowed 2 or fewer in 3 of 4. This one I'm torn on. I'm torn on this game, but ultimately I do think the Habs win in a high-scoring affair here. Looking at guys on streaks here, when it comes to shots on goal, I don't really see a whole lot. Point streaks. Cole Caulfield, obviously you can't bet him by himself, but 11 games in a row with a point. I do think he's a great parlay piece here. I would have to parlay it with something. Ivan Demidov, point in 3 games in a row, 8 of his last 10, minus 137 though. So again, a parlay piece. No real single point players with value. Cole Caulfield has scored in back-to-back games, plus 150. I would look at him. If I was going to be playing a prop here. And power play point for Caulfield, 4 of 5. 4 of his last 5, plus 220. And that's basically it. So not a lot of guys in streaks either here. We'll have to see what happens in this game. Graph plus 1,200 for the Sharks. First goal. His goals, the last 2 games have been the Sharks' first goal. All right, I like it. When are your daily picks coming out, Big Terry? What do you mean? All my 4 plays are loaded on picksandparlays.net, and I'm giving you guys my 2 player props here on the show. I know a low volume day for me today. It's just how it is. Over. Yeah, I think so. I do think so. What's up, Terry? Hey, Lightbearer, how's it going? Good luck on all your bets, Terry, in chat. You too. Halverson has appeared in 2 NHL games. Thank you. And has given up 6 goals on 30 shots. Okay. Season debut. I think the Habs can get to him. I do. Dobeš is regressing for sure. Well, he was in November, but December he's looked like October Dobeš. So it's tough. It's tough to know what we're going to get from him. Montreal minus 115, Tampa on a back-to-back. Yeah, I think so. Demidov anytime goal, Radish assist. All right. And point for 2 points. All right. I like it. But on to our next game, the Vegas Golden Knights and the New York Islanders. Vegas minus 135 road favorites. The Islanders plus 115 home dogs, and a total of 5.5 here in this one. Looking at goalies here to see if we have any. Trying to find it. There we go. Ilya Sorokin likely for the Islanders. 10-8-2. 2.46 goals against average. 9-11 save percentage. Akira Schmid, unconfirmed. 10-2-4. 2.35 goals against average. 9.03 save percentage. How have these teams done against each other in the past? The Islanders, 5-2 in the last 7. So they've had a lot of success against Vegas. And 3 of the last 4 meetings have gone under 5.5. And I think the under is the right play here. I think this is going to be a boring, close, low-scoring game, which is what the Islanders have been. So the Islanders are going back to their old, boring, well, maybe not old anymore, but boring, slow, defensive style Islanders hockey that we've seen for so many years. that's been returning lately for quite a few weeks. And then Vegas here on the other side. Not a team I want to take an under with overall. So ultimately not getting to the under here, but I do think it is a lower scoring game. Now, the previous game this year, a 4-3 overtime win for the Islanders, but I believe that was during their big over streak. Vegas has won 4 games in a row. 4-3 against San Jose, 4-3 against Chicago, 3-0 against the Devils, and then 3-2 against the Rangers in their last game. Looking at player props here for this one, shots and goal streaks. Ivan Barbashev, 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10, over 1.5 shots and goal, minus 105. There's some value there. Mark Stone is on a 12-game point streak, but a minus 200 would have to be a parlay piece. Shea Theodore has a point in 3 games in a row, 7 of his last 10. He's plus 115. So there is some value with Shea Theodore. Thomas Hertl has scored in back-to-back games for Vegas, plus 210 here in this one. No power play point streaks, assists. Mark Stone assists, 4 of his last 5, 8 of his last 10, minus 120 here in this one. Stone assist was a huge moneymaker last year. Woke up, if Vegas was playing, Stone assist was getting bet. So an oldie, but probably a goodie here. I think probably a good play here in this one. First period, both teams to score, plus 144. Okay. So you think a little bit of a higher scoring start to the game. The draw, plus 330. I could see that. The Thailanders now haven't been going to overtime as much recently, but Vegas has gone to overtime in 2 of their last 3. So I could definitely see the draw here in this one. But we'll continue on along to our next game, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Blue Jackets plus 170, road dogs. The Canes minus 205, home favorites. And a total of 6.5 here in this one. Let me do a quick refresh here. Jack Reeves confirmed for Columbus. 7, 5, and 5. 2.71 goals against average and save percentage. Brandon Bussi likely for Carolina, 8-1 with a 2.21 goals against average and a 902 save percentage. Bussi's been great. Kochetkov came in, played the last game. He won. It looks like it'll be Bussi here. What's going to happen with Anderson, Frederik Anderson? And I have a solution. Carolina should trade Frederik Anderson to Edmonton. I'm sure Edmonton would love another goalie. And Edmonton has been a team that has gone through goalies similar to Anderson's talent level. So I think Frederik Anderson to Edmonton makes a ton of sense, even though it's not going to really help them. But they haven't really seemed like getting a goalie that's going to help them for all these years. So why not trade for Anderson? Would help the Hurricanes out, that's for sure. But looking at this game, previous games between these teams, Carolina 6-1-2 in the last 9. 4 of the last 5 have gone over 6.5. So you've seen a lot of high scoring games. 2 of the last 4 going to overtime. If it was Merzlikins against Frederik Anderson, I would be all over the over here, especially with the over history between these two teams. But with Jack Reeves and Brandon Bussi likely here, I don't want to take the over here in this one. Obviously, Carolina, huge favorites. I can't get involved with them, so no play here on the side or total. Looking at player props, shots on goal streaks, Logan Stankoven over 2.5 shots on goal plus 100. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 games. Kirill Marchenko over 2.5 shots on goal plus 110. He's done that in 3 games in a row. Point streaks with value, not a whole lot. Same with goal streaks. Assists. Shane Gostisbehere has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games, plus 105. He is the best value here when it comes to player props. Ultimately, another game where I have to pass. And it's a low volume day for me on this Tuesday for some reason. Let's see. In Texas, struggling with underdog. I don't see how some of you guys do it. Underdog fantasy, and I don't have that in Canada. Nashville/Colorado draw. Okay, interesting. Emil Heineman goals in all 3 games he's played against Vegas. Okay, top line for Heineman plus 380. Okay, definitely some value with him. You just explained why it doesn't make sense. What do you mean? For the Oilers to get Anderson? Well, yeah, but they would still do it because it's the Oilers. I stay bricked up. Edmonton not winning the Cup if they trade for Anderson. In my opinion, they're not winning the Cup regardless. If they're going to go and get a goalie, they should go and get a real goalie. Not that Anderson isn't a real goalie, but a really talented high-end goalie. But they won't do that. Terry, are you crazy? The only thing that Freddie is good for is to bet the opposition's team total over. Exactly. He would be great in Edmonton. We could just bet overs every game and just make a ton of money. Bussy is confirmed. All right. The Oilers have more of a forward depth problem than goaltending. Interesting take, Perlo. Marchenko has 9 goals in 10 games versus Carolina. I know who I'm betting tonight. Okay. Very nice. Oh, I see. Yeah, you might be right there. It is the Oilers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I wasn't saying Anderson would help them because that's just not the case, but it would make sense for them to trade for him. But up next, Boston Bruins and St. Louis Blues. The Bruins plus 120 road dogs. The Blues minus 140 home favorites. Total 5.5 here in this one. Taking a look at goalies here. Joel Hofer likely for St. Louis. 4-5-2. 3.1 goals against average, 892. Save percentage, Jeremy Swayman unconfirmed, 12-7, 2.7 goals against average, 913. Save percentage. How have these two teams done against each other in the past? The Bruins 6-1-1 in the last 8, 3 overs, for a total 5.5, 4 overs, 1 under. 3 of the last 6 have gone to overtime between these two teams. When I look at this game, both of these teams have won back-to-back games here and had both lost their previous game, giving up 5 goals. So the Bruins lost 5-4 to Detroit, then beat the St. Louis team 5-2 and beat the Devils 4-1. I was on the Bruins against the Devils in that game. And then the Blues obviously lost 5-2 to the Bruins and then have won back-to-back games since then, 2-1 against Ottawa, 4-3 against Montreal. Both road games, and now they're home. Their last home game, a 4-1 loss to the Anaheim Ducks. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give me Morgan Geekie. Anytime goal, plus 155. Great value here, a plus 155 for him to score in this game. Had a goal and 2 assists in the game that these two teams just played against each other last week. He scored in 7 of his last 9 games, 3 multi-goal games during that stretch, continues to shoot the puck, and he scored in 2 of his last 3 games against St. Louis. As I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going right back to Morgan Geekie anytime goal. I think there's a lot of value at plus 155 when we've seen him at plus 125 recently. So tons of value here, especially against this Blues goaltending. Hofer on the starting here in this one. So we'll go with Geekie anytime goal here in this one. Other players to look at here in this game, looking at shots on goal. Let's see. Dylan Holloway over 2.5 shots on goal plus 154, 3 of his last 5 games. Jake Neighbors over 1.5 shots on goal plus 100. He's done that in 3 games in a row. Geeky, obviously, on a 5-game point streak, minus 155. Go with the goal. Victor Arvidsson, a point in 4 of his last 5 games, 7 of his last 10. He's plus 121, and he's had a lot of success against the Blues. He has at least 1 point in 5 of his last 6 against St. Louis, 2 multi-point games during that stretch. So Arvidsson, point could be a good look. And then he's scored a goal in 3 of his last 4 against St. Louis, plus 333. Definitely value with Arvidsson. And if you like Geeky, which I do, you probably like Elias Lindholm as well. Points in back-to-back games, 4 of his last 5, plus 110 to get a point here. Definitely value with him. Pavel Zacha's got a point in 3 games in a row, minus 105. Pavel Buchnevich has a point in 3 games in a row, minus 110. Here in this game, Braden Shen has a point in back-to-back games, plus 145. And he has a point in 6 of his last 8 against the Bruins. So Shen has had success against Boston here in this game. Offers confirmed. Okay. Yeah, daily faceoff must be slow and just having likely when guys are confirmed. Blues were outplayed by both Ottawa and Montreal, but got great goaltending. Wow. Can they get great goaltending again? I hope not. Bruins in first period over 1.5. Can't talk you off that. Geeky anytime goal, Elias assist. Yes, good looks. If you play Geeky goal, you have to play Geeky to score the first Bruins goal. He's done it 9 times this season. There you go. So if you want the bigger plus money, go with I didn't even click it. Oops. Yeah, go with a Geeky first Bruins goal if you want the bigger value here in this one. Pastrnak is a game time decision. Yeah, the Bruins will definitely like to have him back, but this Bruins team has continued to chug along without him. I was dead wrong about this Bruins team. They've played much better than expected this year. Bruins money line definitely has value. The only thing to think about is these two teams did just face each other. The Bruins won 5-2. Will they be able to do it again? The good thing is it's not the game after. They've had a few games since then, so it's always tougher when you play the game before. Alex Steves plus 480 anytime goal top line. I like it. I was looking at him the show before, the last show, but stuck with Geeky, and we're going to stick with Geeky again here in this one. Dallas Stars and the Winnipeg Jets. This is going to be a great game. Dallas minus 135, road favorites. The Jets plus 115, home dogs, and a total of 6 here in this one. Looking at goaltenders here to see if we have any confirmed. Eric Comrie likely for Winnipeg. Nobody yet confirmed for the Dallas Stars. And I don't want to say it doesn't. Oh, Casey DeSmith now likely. And I don't want to say it doesn't really matter who starts for Dallas, but Casey DeSmith, 6-1-3, 2.16 goals against average, 921 save percentage. Anybody in the NHL would like to have Casey DeSmith on their team with numbers like that, especially the Edmonton Oilers. They could use a goalie like Casey DeSmith. Now, of course, he's putting up those numbers with Dallas. If he was to go to a team like Edmonton, numbers would probably come down quite a bit. But looking at previous meetings between these two teams, Winnipeg 4-2 in the last 6 regular season games. Dallas 4-1, including playoff meetings. Total kind of all over the place between these two teams. Obviously, a very high-scoring 5-4 game when these two teams faced each other earlier on in the season. The Dallas Stars have been one of the best road teams in the NHL this year. They've actually been a bit better on the road than at home. Dallas 10-1-4 on the road this year. 1 regulation loss on the road. Winnipeg 7-5 at home here in this game. And I know I should be on Robertson anytime goal. I should. Not at this moment. Did not score in his last game. And looking at games for Robertson recently, bear with me as I try to get it back up there. Over his last 10 games, 2 games he didn't score. He bounced back the next game with a goal. Now, history against Winnipeg is not the best. He did score in the first meeting between the teams this year, but then obviously during the playoff series, he did not score at all against Winnipeg. And then last year in the regular season, not a whole lot of success. So Winnipeg has been a team that has been able to shut down Jason Robertson. However, most of those games were likely with Connor Hellebuyck, who will not be playing in this game. So I really should be adding Jason Robertson anytime goal here in this one. Seeing him at around plus 135, plus 130 to score here in this game. I just don't like the really bad numbers against Winnipeg. That's all that kind of scares me off here in this one. But looking at shots on goal streaks here, Mikko Rantanen over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 112. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 games. Scheifele on a 7-game point streak, obviously have to be a parlay piece. Wyatt Johnston, point in 4 of his last 5, minus 150. I was considering Johnston assist. Johnston has an assist in 4 of his last 5 games. So he's been really productive, but has not recorded an assist in a lot of games against Winnipeg. I don't know exactly how many it is. Looks to be about like 12 or 13 games against Winnipeg. He hasn't got an assist, so not a lot of success again against the Winnipeg Jets. Goal streaks. We've got some guys in goal streaks here. Kyle Connor, 4 of his last 5, did not score in the last game, plus 145. Obviously, Robertson, we've talked about, plus 143. Mikko Rantanen, 3 of his last 5, plus 175. Gabriel Velarde has scored in back-to-back games, plus 241. Cole Koepke for the Winnipeg Jets has scored in back-to-back games. He's plus 1,000 to score here. And right now, the hottest goal scorer on either of these 2 teams is Miro Heiskanen, who scored a goal in 3 games in a row, plus 575 for Heiskanen, who has at least 3 shots on goal in the last 3 games as well. So shooting the puck a lot, scoring goals, doesn't have a lot of goal scoring success against Winnipeg. But as I've said, a lot of those games were with Hellebuyck in net. He won't be in net here in this game. But we'll go to the chat. The day does end in Y, Terry. I know. So I should be on Robertson. I should. Could still add him, but hard to consider previous meet. Yes, exactly. That's why I mentioned it with an asterisk. That a lot of those games obviously had Hellebuyck. Kyle Connor, anytime goal, plus 140. All right. Like we said, or like others said, he had a hat trick in previous meeting and birthday, looking for that goal. So we'll see if he can get it. Rantanen, anytime goal. Ben, anytime goal. Half unit on Miro. Anytime goal. I like it, Richie. Just a reminder, don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you, Light Bearer. I appreciate that. Yes, everyone hit the like button. Considering Maverick. All right. The Heisker. Yeah, he's hot right now and a ton of value. With him. Terra on fire. Best of luck. Thank you, Bleed. I appreciate it. Yeah, things have been going pretty well. Recently, in November especially, a little end of the month was kind of slow, but we're back on track again recently. So I cashed out good on Kings and Wings yesterday. I like to hear it. I also went 2-0 that game, or in the Detroit game, so it was awesome. But on to our next game. 2 more games left. The Buffalo Sabres and the Edmonton Oilers. The Sabres plus 175, road dogs. Edmonton minus 210, home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in this one. When I look at this game here, looking at goalies, Stuart Skinner confirmed for Edmonton. No one yet confirmed for the Buffalo Sabres. Edmonton has started to get it going here the last couple of games, especially offensively. Shutout against the Wild. I thought they were going to come out pissed. I was on Edmonton first period. They came out pissed, beat the Kraken 9-4, and then beat Winnipeg 6-2 in their last game. So the Edmonton Oilers are scoring goals right now. Now they have Buffalo coming in. Buffalo, 5-2 loss to Philly, 4-1 loss to Winnipeg, and a 7-4 loss yesterday to the Calgary Flames. So Buffalo not doing too well right now, but 3-2 in the last 5 against Edmonton, which is a bit surprising with how this Buffalo team has been and how the Oilers have been. But even more surprising, previous games between these teams for a total of 6.5, 1 over, 5 unders. So games between these two teams tend to be lower scoring. Now, I'm definitely not taking the under here. I do feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. Both teams are trending towards the over, but ultimately did not get to anything side or total-wise. Here, there's a lot of player prop opportunities here. It looks like Jason Zucker is out. So Jason Zucker, one of the guys I was considering, looks like he is not playing, which is not great for Buffalo. One of their hottest goal scorers out right now. Looking at player props with value, Josh Norris, over 1.5 shots on goal, plus 105. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 games. Alex Tuck point, 4 of his last 5, minus 110. Josh Dome point, 4 of his last 5, plus 113. Josh Norris point, 4 of his last 5, minus 110. Someone was asking about Bouchard earlier. Minus 155 for a point is not obviously a good parlay piece, not a good single play, but a good parlay piece. He has points in 5 of 6. Back-to-back games, 3 points against Seattle, 2 points against Winnipeg. So yeah, Bouchard is on fire right now for the Oilers. Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, back-to-back games with points. Draisaitl, McDavid, back-to-back games with 2 points. Matthias Ekholm, Dahlin, back-to-back games with points for them. So, like I said, a lot of good player props potentially here in this one. Draisaitl scored in back-to-back games, plus 120. Matt Savoy has scored in back-to-back games for Edmonton, plus 380, facing his former team. So, could be some value with Matt Savoy on a goal streak here. Power play point, Zucker obviously out, but Josh Norris, a power play point in 4 games in a row, plus 275. The Oilers, as you would expect, Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Evan Bouchard, all a point in 3 of their last 5 and back-to-back games. Power play point, I should clarify, plus 154 for Draisaitl, plus 140 for McDavid, plus 235 for Bouchard. He has the value here. Josh Norris assist 4 games in a row, plus 177 here in this game. Matthias Ekholm an assist in back-to-back games, plus 208, and an assist in 4 of 6 against the Buffalo Sabres. So Ekholm has had success against Buffalo. Ultimately, nothing for me here, but I feel like this is probably a game I should be adding some props. I would look at Josh Norris. He's been good to me lately, so lean with Josh Norris props here. Ben on the top line, plus 380 anytime goal, 2 goals in 2 games versus Comrie. Yes, but he won't actually play every shift on the top line. He did get a point last game, as I knew he would because I wasn't taking him, but the game before, he started on the top line, but then was on the 4th line a lot of the time. So Jamie Benn, I personally am staying far away from because I don't like how his minutes are being used. If you're going to have him on the top line, have him on the top line. Don't be switching Sam Steele in there at really important moments, which was frustrating. Oilers team total over 3.5, minus 136. Oof. Kind of pricey, but I'm surprised Calgary won. I don't have a lot of faith in Wolf. He's been starting to heat up a little bit. And Norris has 3 goals in 6 games for Skinner. I like it. I think he's the guy to look at, Josh Norris, here in this game. But final game of the night, the Colorado Avalanche and the Nashville Predators. The Avalanche minus 225 road favorites. The Preds plus 185 home dogs. Total 6 here in this one. Colorado 4-2 in the last 6 meetings. 3 of the last 4 going under 5.5. So we usually see lower scoring games between these two teams. When I look at this game, it's a matchup between the best team in the NHL and maybe one of the worst teams. Now, Nashville has played a little bit better recently. The trouble here, though, the Avalanche, 3 games in a row, they've not covered the puck line. 6-3 loss to the Islanders, 3-2 overtime win against the Rangers, 3-2 win against Philly. So if I was getting to anything sidewise here, it would have to be the Avalanche, but it would have to be the Avalanche puck line. And obviously 3 games in a row not covering the puck line. This is a good opportunity for them here. Nashville coming off a 6-3 loss to the Carolina Hurricanes, back-to-back wins against Calgary and Florida before that. But Colorado, much better than the Calgary Flames and much better than Florida at this point in time from what we've seen from Florida this year. So ultimately, this is a tough game for me. Looking at guys with streaks, Nathan McKinnon over 4.5 shots on goal, plus 130. He's done that in 5 games in a row. So it's crazy you're seeing 1.5 shots on goal props, and then you got McKinnon at 4.5, plus 130. That's a ton of shots, but in his last 5 games, 5, 6, 6, 7, 6. Definitely going over the 4.5 shots on goal. And against the Predators, only 1 shot in the last game against Nashville, but 8 shots before that. And in, let's see here, he has at least 5 shots on goal in 7 of his last 10 against Nashville, and at least 8 shots on goal in 4 of his last 10 against Nashville. So McKinnon shots on goal at a very high number, but I could see him getting to 5, 6, 7 shots here in this one. Point, streaks, guys with value. Luke Evangelista has the best value, plus 119 for a point, points in 4 or 5. If you're looking for an Avalanche player, Brock Nelson, a point in 4 or 5, minus 108. Valeri Nichushkin, a point in 3 of 5, minus 112 here in this one. Michael Bunting is a point 3 games in a row for Nashville, plus 161. Goal streaks, not a whole lot. Stamkos and Nelson, 3 of their last 5, plus 320 for Stamkos, plus 310 for Nelson. And McKinnon obviously has been scoring. Didn't score in the last game, 2 goals against the Rangers. Didn't score against the Islanders, 2 goals against the Canucks. So maybe we're getting a 2-goal game here from Nick McKinnon in this one. Wouldn't shock me. His goal prop, minus 105, minus 110 for McKinnon to score. The Avalanche are kind of like the Edmonton Oilers. Very tough to get value on their props as single plays, unless you go on big numbers like over 1.5 or that kind of point-wise or that type of thing. Assist streaks, Cale Makar, minus 175 for an assist, 4 of his last 5. Good parlay piece. Same with Natchez, minus 140, 4 of his last 5. Luke Evangelista, an assist in 4 or 5, plus 210 here in this game. We will jump into the chat here and see what people are thinking. Payback for Edmonton after getting embarrassed in Buffalo. Oilers first period, minus 0.5, plus 122. I could see it. Buffalo is 1-8-4 on the road in the opening 20. All right. I like it. So Edmonton first period. I think that could be a good look here. Wedgwood is back in tonight. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I didn't even almost forgot goalies in this game. Let's see. Yeah, are you sure? Are you sure? It says Blackwood is likely. Blackwood is likely. 8-1-1, 2.21 goals against average, 920 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. He's been fantastic. Do the usual McKinnon H's point parlay. Yeah, if you can get it at a good price, you go that way. Last game was also a tough schedule spot. First off a back-to-back. Power play has been looking better. Might unlock it tonight. It's literally one of our weaknesses right now. Wow. I guess you could call it a weakness, but the Avalanche don't really have too many weaknesses at all. Yeah, Blackwood in net. Yeah, it looks like it. Makar hat trick. All right. Big game by Makar. Brock Nelson anytime goal, plus 275. All right, that's it. That is today's show. Best luck to everyone today. If you're looking for my premium plays, I've got a best bet over on picksandparlays.net and a dog of the day play as well over on picksandparlays.net. Link is in the description below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow for another episode. Picks on Net, NHL picks and predictions. Best of luck tonight, everyone.